Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome here to the Flatout Racing Network's coverage of the UpperEdge Racing Baadteshop Superspeedway Series as we prepare for race number 3 here for the 2023 season. A couple of weeks ago, we were at the smallest superspeedway that will be on the schedule, the mile-and-a-half Atlanta Motor Speedway. Of course, we had Memorial Day weekend in between, and we are now at the largest superspeedway that these drivers will tackle, not only here tonight, but further on down in the second half of the schedule. Also, this is iRacing Super Speedway. I'm Seth Cole, and tonight these drivers are going to be preparing for 55 laps in the Matt Muir Designs 165. Should be a very interesting one, especially with what was seen in practice. These cars move around a lot, especially in the corners. It's going to be very difficult to get those bumpers lined up to be able to tandem and get that good draft down these very spacious straightaways. And of course, as well, we have to bear in mind that you can go below the yellow line here. It is not considered out of bounds, so it is going to be very interesting to see how many drivers utilize that opportunity, especially in the early going. Group qualifying just wrapped up. 3 races so far. 3 different drivers have started on the pole position. The latest, Mike Tellier in the number 47, is going to be the one to lead us to green here today at iRacing Superspeedway. As take a look at your starting lineup, you'll see a couple of names making their first start in the season. Matt Dyer, one of them, on the outside of the front row. Next highest driver that you'll see will be Andrew Siegel. He's going to be rolling off from the 5th position. Wolf Stanwell from 7th place. And we got a couple of others sprinkled in the field, including JP3, John Poole the 3rd. I believe Sam Dyer, yep, he's making his first start on the season as well. So we'll see how those drivers do here. You saw that there were very few that elected to take time in this qualifying session. There is a reason for that. Drivers that are able to pick up the most positions from their starting spot to their finishing spot actually do get bonus points. And so a number of drivers kind of throwing in their fate to the random qualifying with not putting in a lap time and seeing if they can maybe start at the very rear. Matt Muir actually drew the long straw in that, as he will start shotgun in the 25th position. 2 races, 2 different drivers have gone to victory lane so far this season. Season opener, of course, was won by Zach Johnson. He is not in the field again here tonight. He told us when he won that race that he was going to be a part-time capacity. Dylan Poteet, 2 weeks ago at Atlanta Superspeedway, picking up the first win of his Baadteshop Superspeedway Series career. And subsequently, he comes into this race as the points leader. 24 points over Ryan Potter. Zach Johnson, our winner from Talladega, 37 points, still holding on to 3rd. Connor Holden is 4th. And Jacob Holm in the 5th position, actually tied for 5th with Blake Trawick. 57 points separating the top 5 coming into this race. 7th would be Bronson Stafford. James McKee would be 8th. Tom Bourne and Ty Smith complete the top 10 in points with 2 races under our belts. These drivers getting ready to prepare themselves for the Daytona race, I should say, next week. There was going to be an off week. I think it was between races 7 and 8 or 6 and 7. But due to Memorial Day weekend, a lot of people obviously spending time with family. Administration decided to call the off week there, and so all subsequent races get pushed back a week. The season should end on the same scheduled date as it would have been if we had taken the off week later on in the schedule rather than last week. But here we go. Green flag in the air. Mike Tellier leads him to the start-finish line and gets us underway in the Matt Muir Designs 165. Let's see how anxious these drivers are to get really close to each other going into these corners. One thing you'll notice if you observe it really, really closely on the entry of the corner, the back end of these cars bogs down, completely unloads. And I was riding on board with a couple of drivers that were in some two-car tandems, the push-ers, and it is very difficult to get the bumpers lined up, especially when that car bottoms out. Going to lead the first lap. Tom Bourne did not get the season started out the way he wanted at Talladega as he looks to the inside, but had a good top 5 run at Atlanta. You would have thought that the Kmart sponsorship would have stuck around with that good performance, but you can see on the front hood, space for rent. Tom Bourne out there looking for a new primary, it appears, for the remainder of this season, as he's got that car out in the wind. Out in front, Andrew Siegel making his first start of the season, going to slot into second. Blake Trawick up to third, picked up the most spots in the point standings last week, up 10 positions after a good run, or I should say last week, 2 weeks ago, after a good run at Atlanta. DJ Stagner, Bronson Stafford, who coming into tonight were the 2 former pole sitters on the season. They are in 4th and 5th position as they currently run. Looking back from the leader, Tom Bourne, that's DJ Stagner, 64, up there on the outside line. He's got Trawick with him. Third lane forming, that was Bronson Stafford, high, wide, and handsome with Mike Tellier. Looks like some connection problems for the 56. Blake Trawick as that Dylan Poteet down there. Last time out winner, the 31. Put his left sides down below the yellow line. Again, not out of bounds. Oh, but he had a shallow entry and spins out. He had a shallow entry into turn 1, and that cost him. 31 loops it around. I believe he was the only car involved. Nope, there were a couple of others. Roberto Ramirez, and that's Sean Billman up ahead there, top of your screen in the 06. Might have been a wreck and then a follow-up wreck to avoid Poteet. As DJ Stagner going to lead them around here to pick up the first caution of the day. One faster pair available for these drivers during the course of this event. Did not see the impact for the 06. 42, his back end was completely pushed in. Poteet's car didn't look all that bad. He had some left front damage, which I'm assuming would have probably been from the transition from the high banking of the corner down to the apron. We'll go back and look at a replay and try and document all of what took place there going into turn 1. And I believe that when Poteet was down there, he was, I believe, on the bottom of a 4-wide situation. I think he just had too shallow an entry going into turn 1. Let's see. Maybe he clips the apron. No, you just saw right there. Back end just snaps around. I think it was just a wrong, too shallow of an angle going into turn 1 for him. But nobody hits him. There, you saw that damage on the left front. He should be able to get that thing fixed up and not have to use his faster pair. Now, let's see what happens here to Roberto Ramirez and Sean Billman. Oh, Ramirez goes up to avoid Poteet. He gets into the 35 of Sam Dyer. Oh, and then that's the 25 of Cody Boussard and Sean Billman getting together, and it shoots Billman up into the path of the 42 of Ramirez. So yeah, you had a wreck, well, a spin, and then a wreck, and then another wreck. That 42 caught some pretty good air. We'll see here with the impact from Sean Billman. I believe the rear tires come off the ground for Roberto Ramirez right there. Oh, wow. See if we get another camera angle of that with the 42. right. Oh, Cody Lamas got a piece of it there in the 48, but watch right here. Woo! It's amazing that thing didn't go over. So first caution of the day. DJ Stagner led him to the caution, and he is still leading. Two drivers elected not to pit, at least so far, under this caution period. Stagner and Holden. Sam Dyer will line up in third. Blake Trawick and Andrew Siegel look like they're going to be fourth and fifth. Then Tellier, Poole, Dyer, that being Matt Dyer, Ryan Potter, and Ty Smith. That's the top 10. Try to get the lights out this time. Of course, the choose cone going to come into play here. Driver's going to indicate which line they want based off of the inside and outside line here on the front straightaway. Got a number of drivers back there diving back onto pit road, probably to top off the fuel tank. Look emphatically. DJ Stagner going to take the inside line. Holden will be on the top. Trawick will take the bottom. Mike Tellier, looks like he chose the bottom. And I believe Blake Trawick and was it Matthew Rodriguez, I think, also took the bottom. So Matt Dyer, who elects the top, is actually going to move up a couple of spots. Actually, Matthew Rodriguez chose the top as well. It was Ty Smith. It was the car I saw behind Mike Tellier on the inside line. And then Wolf Stanwell will restart in 8th, although now he's moving down to the inside line. So I guess he had already committed to the bottom at the choose cone. Everybody else that was just on pit road at the 1 to green, they have to start EOL, end of the longest line. Which I think right now the longest line would be on the inside. Got about 3 cars on the top and about 5 or 6 cars on the bottom. Let's check in about faster pairs. Did anybody use one? Yes, 2 drivers used their faster pairs. Cody Boussard and Roberto Ramirez. Oh, and another one. That was Sam Dyer. Those drivers will not have their mulligan left for the remainder of this race, which will be with 48 laps to go. Left, and then a little shimmy down to pit road as the green flag is back in the air here at iRacing Superspeedway. Lightning McQueen on that number 64 Energizer Chevrolet. DJ Stagner trying to be lightning fast. As he leaves the door open down low, Blake Trawick is going to move his way on by. He'll take the lead. That's a couple of Fords on the inside line, so he'll pick up the 2 of Matt Dyer. Connor Holden up the middle, and Bronson Stafford up on the top side, 3 wide for second place. Well, you saw right there how the cars just bottomed out going into turn 3. Got 3 cars lined up on that top line, all Supras. Stafford, Rodriguez, and Tom Bourne. Let's see if they can make something happen up there. Bronson Stafford, of course, 2-time winner, or 2-time champion, I should say, of the Baadteshop Superspeedway Series. Still looking for his first win here of the 2023 season. Tom Bourne jumped to the middle, 3 wide for the lead here down the front straightaway. I think Stafford has edged ahead, though. He's clear for the lead. Rodriguez clear for second. And Siegel, I think, is clear for third. Yes, he is. And DJ Stagner, foot in the throttle up the middle. Picked up about 2 or 3 spots right there. Through 3 and 4s. Look at how tight this is down the front straightaway. Stafford will lead the lap. A couple more drivers have migrated up to that top line. I think that was Connor Holden and Ryan Potter. Bourne up the middle. He's going to edge ahead down the back straightaway. 3 wide for the lead. Siegel on the bottom. How about this? 4. How about 5 wide? Ryan Potter up the middle. Oh, and contact! There they go. Stafford's around. And there's a lot of them in it. Oh, gosh. Matt Muir, Matthew Rodriguez, Dylan Poteet. They're still piling in. Well, 4 or 5 wide did not work out. And we've got maybe about a dozen cars torn up. There's Stagner. The whole front end missing on his car. There was another car that was stopped facing the wrong way. I think that was potentially the 2 of Matt Dyer. Tom Bourne leads us back to the caution. Second caution of the night. And this was a big one. Let's go back and see how it all starts. We were focused at the time on the 61 of Bronson Stafford, who gets together with, I think it was Ryan Potter or the car that was pushing Ryan, which I think might have been Mike Tellier. Yeah, it was. But that was tough to tell if, I don't know, the 61 and the 51 both kind of looked like they got up into the wall. I don't know if they got forced up there by the duo of Potter and Tellier. I don't know if maybe they locked bumpers and both kind of hooked each other into the wall. I'm not exactly sure how that culminates. Let's see if we can get a better camera angle. See how the initial contact begins. We might actually have to go to our chopper cam or the blimp to find out all of what happened here. Let's see what the blimp shows us. Might be able to, I think we could blame Gap Whack for that one. Got one up and over, that's Matt Muir. He got it back going. Let's take some onboards. Late hit for last time out's winner 2 weeks ago in Atlanta, Dylan Poteet. Let's see what he saw. He was actually running right behind the 72 of Matt Muir. Ah. It's like he got hit from behind. He almost had it missed. Did Poteet. How about the car right ahead of him? Matt Muir went for a wild ride. Sponsor of the race here tonight, the Matt Muir Designs 165, and the same sponsored race car. Not the start he wanted. Watch this. Luckily, the camera's inside the car, otherwise it might not have survived. Our gyro cam was able to 360 like that. I knew it could 360 horizontally. I didn't know it could 360 vertically. That's pretty cool. Take one more on board. Let's ride on board with the 2 of Matt Dyer, who I believe also went for a very wild ride. almost had it avoided. And that gets clipped right there. I think that was by the 18 of Ty Smith. That thing almost went up and over as well with that high banking there in the corners. At Dyer waiting to refire his car, waiting for the field to, or some of the cars to bypass him so he could get turned back around. And we should be going back green here momentarily. I believe lights are out, and indeed they are. Cody Boussard is going to be the one to lead us back to green. He stayed out under this most recent caution. Andrew Siegel will line up in second. John Poole III did a good job getting through that wreck. He'll line up in third place with Blake Trawick and Wolf Stanwell, the top 5. Sean Billman, DJ Stagner, Matt Muir, Shane Thierry, and Tom Bourne. That's going to be the top 10 when we go back green. Looks like all 21 drivers are still running and on the lead lap, but we did add more drivers to the list of those that had to use a faster pair. Looks like Wolf Stanwell, DJ Stagner, Matt Muir, Bronson Stafford. They have all had to use a faster pair now. And add them to the list of the other drivers that had already, after the first caution of the day, had to utilize their mulligan. Green flag back in the air, going to be 41 laps to go. Not a good jump for the race leader. He was very slow right there. Stacks up the whole outside line, and so Andrew Siegel is actually going to take the race lead going into turn 1. Not sure what happened there with the 25, but he definitely was not prepared for that restart. Well, Andrew Siegel did have the lead. Now he gets shuffled out. Oh, Billman! Loose. Does he save it? He does. Might have made some contact with Tom Bourne. Look out. Oh, and now we're wrecking. Boussard, Lamas, Tellier get together, and we're still wrecking. There's more. Caution going to come out for the 3rd time here at iRacing Superspeedway. Lamas in the middle of that one, along with Billman, Tellier. I believe Matt Dyer got a piece. Third caution of the day. Leader already took it. Let's go back and see if we can find out what exactly happened. I think there were a couple of saves. A couple of moments where there should have been a caution earlier and there wasn't. Let's find the 06 of Sean Billman. This might be eerily similar to what happened to Dylan Poteet over in turn 1. Might have been the shallow entry, although DJ Stagner's going to force his way in. Oh, no, Stagner just got into Billman. Nice save there. Tom Bourne almost gets involved, and then you have him like almost 5 wide behind the 06, who was obviously off the pace. Like maybe both the Dyers got involved, Matt and Sam. Rodriguez might have gotten a piece there. And definitely involved was the 35 of Sam Dyer, because you saw smoke pouring from underneath his Ford Mustang there down the front straightaway. Now caution is out for the 3rd time here tonight at iRacing Superspeedway. Dyer's going to come down pit road this time. Got himself a lap lead, and we'll turn things over to Blake Trawick. Got to be a full week of racing here on the Flatout Racing Network. Kick things off this Sunday night as we continue on the season for the Dark Horse Racing Series. Tuesday night, it's playoff racing for the Great Lake Truck Series. Thursday night, it's the Rolling Thunder Gaming Talladega Challenge, and then we're back here again next Friday night when these drivers will take to the nighttime conditions of the World Center of Racing Daytona International Speedway for the first time this season. Well, Blake Trawick looks like the cow-skinned target Ford is going to be the one that will lead us back to green once the lights go out atop that iRacing pace car. So we're going to step aside for a moment of some radio silence here. We'll be back for the restart. Don't go anywhere. You're not going to miss anything as you are watching the UpperEdge Racing Baadteshop Superspeedway series at iRacing Superspeedway. Back in the air for Blake Trawick as he leads John Poole III, DJ Stagner into turn 1. It appears that a couple of drivers have either come to pit road or are on pit road. Sean Billman just pitted when we came to the green, and Sam Dyer, according to scoring, is on pit road, but he has not made it to his pit stall. There he is. They're not scoring him in his pit stall, which is the odd thing. There you saw Billman pull in just ahead of him, so I'm not exactly sure all what's going on there. Sam Dyer has lost 2 laps, though, and I don't know if it's connection issues or if he has DNF. We'll update on this, but Roberto Ramirez has just now fallen a lap down, and he is not being shown on the scoring pylon anymore. So if he does return back into the server, we will update that, but at least for the moment, he might be done for the night. Point 4 of Wolf Stanwell was left out to dry there on that top line. Stanwell had the fastest lap in practice. Of course, making his first start on the season. Look at the names we've got up here right now. Trawick, Poole, Siegel, So far this season, in the first 2 races at Talladega and Atlanta, we've had a driver pick up their first career win in the series. For your top 3, they would extend that streak to 3 today if they were to pick up a checkered flag, but top side, how about that little tandem? Mike Tellier, Tom Bourne, the 47 and the 16 working together there. Didn't look like that tandem, even though it was a tight tandem down the back straightaway, it didn't really look like it gained them anything. So maybe the ability to tandem with the newer Xfinity cars, as opposed to the legacy Xfinity cars, which is what they were driving in the previous seasons, maybe that is no longer a viable option for these drivers to be able to utilize. We'll see as we get closer towards the end of the race, because I guarantee you we're going to see not just some tandem drafting, but probably some tandem shoving. Berwick continues to lead. It's like John Poole, the third, pretty comfortable riding in that second position. Then Andrew Siegel looks like he's doing the same there in third place, as now that outside line tandem of Mike Tellier and Tom Bourne is broken up. Mike has drifted back to 9th, Tom Bourne back to 10th place. That's where those two slotted in. Caution! Shane Tyrion has gone around up in 3 and 4. Appears to maybe be a solo. Nope, we've got a couple more drivers that were involved in something. Bronson Stafford, Cody Lamas. And Cody's on pit road, as is Bronson Stafford. Front end's missing on both of those machines. What happened here? I believe Bronson Stafford was running back just outside of the top 10. Does it start with him? Nope, it's actually the 38 and the 48 that are going to get together. This one's kind of odd. Nope, not odd at all. 38 got loose. I thought it was odd when I was rewinding it back for the replay, because I saw the closing rate between the 38 and the 48 was huge, but it makes a lot more sense when you look at it there with the 38 getting really, really loose. And that was something that we saw a lot of drivers have some difficulty with. Not only early in the race here with Dylan Ponte, but also in practice. Oh, nowhere for Stafford to go. Matt Muir got a piece of it. It's a big hit for the 61 and the 48. And I think Bronson, the steering was gone after that hit. Just straight down into that inside wall. No safer barrier. You can see further up there on the top right, that's where the safer barrier begins down the backstretch. That was a hard hit there for Bronson. We're getting a lot of use of the onboard camera with Matt Muir, but take a look at this one as he gets a pretty good view of Cody Lamas' 48. Hello. But you see those hands. Matt Muir still driving the car, trying to keep it from spinning out. These drivers have got their hands full today, as JP3 stays out. And he will be the race leader, it looks like, for the moment. Ty Smith, Wolf Stanwell, Blake Trawick, Andrew Siegel going to be the top 5. Bronson Stafford, Cody Lamas, I believe both had already used their fast repair, being involved in this wreck early night. For the 2-time champion Bronson Stafford and Cody Lamas. Bronson came into this race 7th in points. Cody came into this race 14th in the standings. Neither one going to really get the benefit of a plethora of points here tonight. They'll look to have to bounce back at Daytona next week. Said we'd update you on the 42 of Roberto Ramirez. He has returned to the server, albeit 4 laps down. Sam Dyer is back on the racetrack as well. He lost 3 laps on pit road, having to get the manual repairs done since he had already used his fast repair prior to the ladder contact. Looks like we're going to get the 1 degree this time. John Poole the third way down there against the inside wall, the indication that he is choosing the inside line for the choose cone. Ty Smith will choose the top. He'll restart second. Wolf Stanwell, Blake Trawick, and Andrew Siegel going to be the completion of the top 5. Matt Dyer, Mike Tellier, Matthew Rodriguez, Tom Bourne, Matt Muir. That is the top 10 as Ryan Potter back down pit road. Probably to top off the fuel tank. Looks like Dylan Pote, Cody Boussard, Connor Holden, Sean Billman all did the same. Don't know what the fuel window is for these drivers. We haven't had a long enough green flag run to find out. But when we get in the restart here, just nearly at the halfway point. I believe it will be a lap and a half that they'll have to run once the green flag comes back out, and we will be halfway home in tonight's race. It's up at the front, the top 3, all Chevrolets. Then 2 Fords to make it 3 Fords in 4th through 6th. And then Toyotas make up the rest of the top 10 from 7th down through the 10th position. It's a pretty good representation for all 3 manufacturers here up inside of the top 10 for this upcoming restart. It's the Nintendo Switch number 32 of John Poole III, who's going to get us back underway for our 4th restart of the evening here at iRacing Superspeedway. Stacked up, second place on back. I'm almost wondering if that front end damage visible there, the buckled hood on the 24, affecting him a little aerodynamic wise. We're going 3 and 4 wide for second place. Tellier up the middle, Ty Smith way up high side. Mike Tellier and Tom Bourne hooked up again. That's been a very good combo so far today. And this time they're going to move forward rather than fall backwards. Tellier to the point. Bourne into second, both clear. Poole drops back to third. Both Sam Dyer and Roberto Ramirez have bypassed the 2 drivers that have officially DNF'd from this race. So Cody Lamas will get credit for 21st. Bronson Stafford will get credited for 20th place. If you're wondering right now, the driver that has picked up the most spots since the start of the race, that would be Matt Muir. Started 21st. He is right now in 7th plus 14 from his starting position, but still a lot of racing left to go. We've just crossed the halfway point here at iRacing Superspeedway. And you've only got about 5 cars up in this lead pack, then Ty Smith all by himself, and then a group of about 8 or 9 making up group number 2, and the caution's out again. Sam Dyer, I believe, the reason for this one. Right front damage on his Ford. Don't know if he has some contact or not. It looks like maybe JP3 has hit some internet problems. He was right up inside of the top 5, and he has since gone gray on the telemetry and has dropped down to 17th in the running order. We'll follow up on that. Let's go back and see if we can find what brought out this, the 5th caution of the night. It was Samuel Dyer, I believe. Let's see, front straightaway. It was not him. Somebody else right in front of him. Who was that? Couldn't tell. Is it Roberto Ramirez, potentially? Yep, that's who it was. Oh, gosh. Watch this. Everything looks fine, Mend the wall, and then head on into the inside wall. Caution comes out, 42 disappears, and I believe he is now done for the evening. Had already had to use his faster pair in the early going, and that hit, especially with the front end. I believe that is going to take him out of contention. He will get credited for 19th. Pit road open. A lot of fakers there, as it's like the 5 of Andrew Siegel is going to be the one that stays out. Everybody else on that pit lane. Sam Dyer, as we saw there with that replay, was not involved in the wreck, so he should get the lucky dog. He would be 2 laps down, I believe, once we go back green. Plenty of opportunity to maybe get back on the lead lap, get back into the conversation for this race win. You just saw him going around and getting that said lap back. Alright, so 5th caution of the evening. We'll go back green just a little north of 20 laps to go. We did this a few moments ago. We're going to do it again. We're going to have a moment of radio silence here. You'll still see the cars pacing around here visibly, and then we will come back on the air once these drivers get ready to go back green. You're watching the Flatout Racing Network's coverage of the UpperEdge Racing Baadteshop Superspeedway Series from iRacing Superspeedway. the pace car. We'll be going back green flag racing on lap 33. We're riding on board here with race leader Andrew Siegel, and if you're able to pay attention to the center dial on his dash, watch the red needle there. You see how right there it just dropped? That means that he has thrown in the clutch, he has shut off the engine trying to save fuel, just picked up the throttle again there, and back to clutching once more. We saw he was in second gear during this pacing period. Blake Trawick, who we were on board with under the last radio silence break, he was in fourth gear, the higher gear, to save fuel. So we'll see how this plays out. It's looking like, based off what I'm seeing, sounds like a lot of these drivers are right on the edge of being able to make it. Green flag back in the air. According to what I've just been told, the 5, who was the only driver who stayed out, is questionable of making it to the checkers if we stay green. And remember, that's with the scheduled 55 laps. That doesn't necessarily mean that those are the only laps we're going to run. There are 3 possible green-white checkered overtimes that could be utilized. That's looking at another anywhere. If you used all 3, you're looking maybe at another 8 to 10 projected laps that you'd have to make it. That's why you probably saw the 5 kind of throw in the parachute and drop back there to around the 6th position, trying to save some more. Matt Dyer going to move to the point in the 2 car. I don't think anybody's going to be a challenger for fastest lap. DJ Stagner, make that Connor Holden laid down a 44.490. The next highest driver on the fastest lap leaderboard is DJ Stagner at a 44.736. That is about 2.5 tenths difference, which is huge at a Superspeedway. So more than likely, barring any drastic change, maybe some bonus points for fastest lap of the night going to the 81 of Connor Holden. A little surprised to see the 5 there to the top with Blake Trawick leading that duo. Being out in that clean air consumes a lot more fuel. Unless the 5 feels confident that he can make it to the end of 55 laps, that is. Ooh, Tom Bourne jumping up there. I thought he was going to work with the 47 of Tellier again. Those two have been pretty much inseparable this race, but he almost took it 3 wide. Now he tucks in line. He's got some drivers off the pace back there. Sean Billman looks like he's starting to lose the draft. Cody Boussard as well in the 25. Both of those drivers dealing with damage that they have had to repair manually under these last couple of yellow flags, having already used their fast repair very early on in the going. As 3 wide, Ryan Potter, whoa, he and Connor Holden were trying something, and Connor got all sorts of out of shape in that middle groove, and that just broke that duo up. Potter's going to tuck down in front of Matt Dyer into the 3rd spot. Connor Holden still in the middle, 3 wide, with Matt Dyer, and I believe that was Matt Muir up on the outside of that 3 wide situation. Two of Matt Dyer's around in the grass. I just noticed he was dropping rapidly on the scoring monitor. No caution as he keeps it going, but all the way back to 15th place and hoping that a yellow does come out so he can catch back up. As, man, you saw the back end of the 99 of Ryan Potter bottom out going into turn 3 as Connor Holden will go to the point. Connor Holden 4th in the standings, 47 points out. Quite possible that if he were to win here today, he's close enough to the point standings that he can take the points lead. How about Ryan Potter right behind him, 2nd in points, only 24 points behind Dylan Poteet, as Potter drifts up the track there. Almost got a bump from behind by Tom Bourne. And now the caution's out. This time it's the 18 of Ty Smith that's gone around. Big break for the 2 of Matt Dyer. As looks like that was over in the center of 1 and 2. And this should put everybody now able to make it the rest of the way on fuel. Hunter Holden, Tom Bourne in a good battle back to the line. Looks like Holden won out. As let's go back and see what happened. Let's actually, since we've got the opportunity here, let's see first what happened with Matt Dyer that didn't bring out the yellow, and then we'll look ahead to the incident with Ty Smith. And I think, again, it's another case of a driver entering in shallow. The bottoming out right there. Watch this great save. This is a long save. Oh, DJ Stagner also saves it. Wow. That was impressive. Long sweeping corners here at iRacing Superspeedway, and Matt Dyer had to use the entirety of the length of turns 1 and 2 to keep that thing going. And then we'll take a look at what happened with Ty Smith. Almost wonder if it might have been the same situation. Oh, no, he was... Oh, actually, no, it was the same situation. Yeah, he was out of shape going into the corner. Right there. Long slide. Fortunately, it was a long ways back to the next car. Well, I say that, and he nearly got clobbered. Let's go on board with the 18. Let's see if going into the corner, if you have to counter steer it maybe. Or does he counter steer when he realizes the back end is coming around? Here it is. Just kind of looks like once that car bottoms out, it's a 50-50 chance if the back end's going to plant or if it's going to snap. A couple of wild rides there. First for Matt Dyer and then for Ty Smith. Putting us under the caution for the 6th time tonight. And everybody and their grandmother was on pit road here under this caution period. Which says to me that they know this is the final time that they are probably going to be on pit road for the remainder of this race, outside of having to come down to repair crash damage if we see another caution or two before conclusion. Sam Dyer going to get another lap back here. I think this will put him to -1. Needs one more caution, one more lucky dog to get back on the lead lap, as Sean Billman, bit of an extended stay on pit road to repair damage. Also, an extended stay on pit road for Connor Holden in the 81. Not sure what that's all about, because he was the leader when we took the caution. But he spent just about as much time on pit road as Sean Billman did. And we know that Billman is dealing with a damaged race car. I think I was about to mention this before Matt Dyer had his problem. We saw that John Poole III, it appeared that he had fallen out of the server. We're waiting to see if he was going to return. He has not. I think it's safe to say we're more than 10 laps in since he left the server. He will get credited for 18th with a DNF here tonight, joining Roberto Ramirez, Bronson Stafford, and Cody Lamas. 17 drivers still running, 16 on the lead lap at this current point in time. You saw Mike Tellier elects to take the top line here for the restart. Leader's preference with the choose code. Tom Bourne will line up in second. Third place, I believe, when they crossed the line, was Andrew Siegel, and he elected to take the top. Ryan Potter, who was fourth, on the bottom. And then Blake Trawick will be fifth for this upcoming restart. Matt Muir is still the driver with the highest number of gained spots, 15. But Ryan Potter, 4th place restarter, not that far back. He's only 4 spots off of that, plus 11 after he started this race from the 15th position. Looks like Bronson Stafford is going to get the heartbreak bonus points, consolation bonus points that go out to the driver that loses the most positions from their starting spot. Bronson started 4th, will finish 20th, minus 16 from starting to finishing position here tonight. Be interesting to see if Tom Bourne has a sponsorship when these drivers take the green flag next Friday night at Daytona. He's got space for rent there on the hood of that Toyota Supra. As green flag is back in the air, Mike Tellier. Got to pull down in front of the 16. Almost wonder if maybe the 47 and the 16, who have been working together all night long, might have been doing the old Joey Logano okie dokie. That might have led to the 47 Tellier's decision of choosing the top line for this restart. Shane Tyrion there and Dylan Potey, 2 drivers who had issues earlier on tonight with that shallow entry into the corner, spun it around. They're up in the 5th and 7th position as things currently run. Potey actually in a battle for 5th place with Andrew Siegel. And now Ryan Potter. Chevy working with a Ford against 2 Toyotas. And now Tellier gonna get out of Dodge. He's gonna drop to the back, or at least drop up to the top side there and lose a couple of spots in the process. Gets picked up by Shane Tyrion and Matthew Rodriguez. Woo! See that at 99. Ryan Potter get loose there. With the car bottomed out. Closing in on 10 laps to go as Potter right down there below the yellow line. Might be dropping back. Tom Bourne edged out ahead, led that lap, but now Andrew Siegel on the inside. And he's going to go to the front. So far this season, it has been the Supras that have gone to victory lane with Zach Johnson at Talladega, Dylan Poteet at Atlanta. Ford and Chevrolet still looking for their first win. You got Trey Wick's Mustang out in front. Highest Chevrolet would be the 24 of Wolf Stanwell, who just moved into 3rd place. You've got Connor Holden right in the mix as well, representing the bow ties. For the Ford Mustangs, you've got the 5 of Andrew Siegel up here. We'll see if either one of those 2 manufacturers can break into victory lane, stop the stranglehold that the Toyota Supras have had so far in the first 2 races of the season. Slight connection problems I saw there from Matt Muir in the 72, but they have since settled out. Can you imagine being a spotter here at iRacing Superspeedway? It's crazy when you see the distance they have to look out at Daytona or Talladega to the back straightaway. But what? Look at this. This is the view from the spotter stand here, just above the sky boxes on the front straightaway. Now look what they've got to call. 24 and the 5. They were hooked up at a big run down that back straightaway. Weren't able to do anything with it as Mike Tellier on the top. Now he's got Connor Holden in the 81 helping him. Right there must be a really difficult place for a spotter with the cars coming towards you off of turn 4. Trawick led that lap. Got the target cars, one a Ford, one a Toyota, working together on the inside line. Whoa! I think we got a wreck. Yes, we do. Saw the 5 out of shape. I didn't know if he saved it or not, but he didn't. Siegel and Stanwell, they get together there through, I believe that's 1 and 2. And that brings out the caution for the 7th time here tonight. I think we're going to at least get a restart within regulation. We'll see how many laps there will officially be. I don't believe I'm going to double check this, but I don't believe, no, we have yet in the first 2 races to go into overtime. We have run up to the scheduled distance at both Talladega and Atlanta. See if we can do the same here at iRacing SS's. Here's a look at what happened. Same song, second verse. Just gets loose going into the corner. DJ Stagner got a piece of it. And Stanwell gets into Siegel. The 5 car smoking, leaving the scene and trailing that smoke all the way down the back straightaway, as I believe just now is heading through 3 and 4. Here's another look. Watch the back end come around as he turns the wheel left going into turn 1. Right after that bottom out. Boy, that's some big hits. Oh, gosh, another driver was involved that I didn't even see. That was Shane Terrian in the 38. Got up underneath the 24 of Stanwell. Take a look at this on board with Shane Terrian. Here you go. Can't go higher. There's a wall there. A lot of damage there, I believe, for the front end of Shane Terrian's Monster Energy Toyota Supra. Don't know if that's going to be enough to take him out or not. A lot of drivers on pit road maybe thinking that we are going to go into overtime. Matthew Rodriguez, he's going to keep the faith that this thing ends in regulation. He's going to be the one to lead us back to green. Rodriguez, of course, a long winless streak stretching back to the very first season of the Baadteshop Superspeedway Series, where he was a 2-time winner. Winless since then in the following 2+ seasons, including this year. And this caution puts Sam Dyer back on the lead lap. So Sam, who's in the 16th position, going to look to improve his finishing result in the closing stages of this race. Wolf Stanwell, he had used his faster pair very early on in this race, and with the big hits that we saw him take right there, he is on pit road, manually getting his car repaired. He's already lost 2 laps to the leaders, and he will probably lose more. Looks like DJ Stagner also getting manual repairs done. We'll see if he stays on the lead lap or not. Don't know, does Shane Terrian have a faster pair still available? Because he's in 9th place. Yeah, he did still have a faster pair available. As a matter of fact, if we go down the list, there's only 2 drivers that still have that mulligan intact. Those drivers are probably the cleanest cars in the field right now. The 56 of Blake Trawick, the 16 of Tom Bourne. Everybody else has used their faster pair, with the exception of John Poole III, but he's out of the race. Could be 5 laps shootout here. Maybe. At iRacing Superspeedway. If we get another caution in the next 2 laps or so, I believe we are going into overtime. A quick yellow, I think we could get them lined back up for either a green-white checkered or a one-lap shootout in regulation. We'll have to wait and see what the case is going to be, though, as it'll be Rodriguez and Tellier, the top 2. Blake Trawick, 3rd. Dylan Pote looking for back-to-back wins here in the last 3 weeks, the last 2 races. He's going to be 4th. Tom Bourne's going to line up in 5th. 6th, Connor Holden. 7th, Matt Muir. Ryan Potter, 8th. Matt Dyer in 9th. And Shane Terry, who just took on his faster pair, he will be 10th. 17 drivers still scored in this race, 15 on the lead lap. DJ Stagner lost at least a lap as he's still on pit lane. Wolf Stanwell is 3 laps down, and he is still getting his car repaired as well. 7th restart of the evening. Is it the final one of the night? Let's find out here. As Matthew Rodriguez leads us down into the restart zone, green flag in the air. Good jump for the 51 of Rodriguez, but was it too good a jump? Tellier going to tuck down in front of Dylan Poteet. Don't know if that was by design or if Tellier just cleared himself. It looked, at least from our shot there, that vantage point, like there wasn't enough room to slot in line. But Tellier, very quickly after jumping down there, jumped back up to the top. He's going to pick up Matt Muir. Look at Tom Bourne with a big run up there. He's got Connor Holden helping him. And Matt Dyer down the back straightaway. Rodriguez going to do a lot of mirror driving here. Blake Trawick right behind him. Dylan Poteet 3rd. Tellier there in 4th. Look at make that Shane Tyrion back there on the apron, looking to pick up spots, and couldn't do it. Tried to get around Ryan Potter and Matt Dyer and had to give those spots up as he did not have the best entry into the corner. Pote got out of shape there, drifts up the track. Opened up the door for Tom Bourne to take 3rd. Rodriguez drops back to 4th. Mike Tellier with a push on the top side, looking to go back to the lead, and he will. Tom Bourne trying to clear himself as well, can't do it. Poteet's there on the bottom. Side by side for the lead between Poteet and Tellier. 3 wide for 4th place. Matt Muir in the middle. Trawick on the bottom. Holden on the top, and he's got help from the 06 of Sean Billman. Where did that NOS Mustang come from? It's like maybe about 13 cars up in this lead pack. The straggler of Ty Smith just latched onto the draft, I think. Stacked up, double wide, about 4, maybe 5 rows deep. How about 3 wide up the middle? Connor Holden. Tellier saw it coming. He blocks. Contact! Billman and Holden get together, and that's going to bring out a caution. And there's others involved. Rodriguez is in it. It's like Rodriguez, Holden, Billman, the 3 that get the biggest impact, and they're all going to have a little drift session there on the apron of 3 and 4. Caution out, and for the first time this season, we are going into overtime. Dylan Poteet was the leader over Mike Tellier and Blake Trawick. Let's go back and take a look. I think that might have been 4 wide. And yep, that was definitely 4 wide. And the 2 cars in the middle lane just didn't give each other enough room. Holden and Billman. Matthew Rodriguez, innocent bystander in that one. And I think he might have gotten the worst damage out of all of it, did Rodriguez. Holden comes down right in front of his path. Ooh, Ryan Potter also involved in the 99. Shane Terriot's had some really good avoidances here tonight. It's only fair that we take it on board with him and watch this move as he slices and dices and darts his way by, preserving his spot inside of the top 10 on board with 38. Look at that. Up top to avoid Billman, darts it low to avoid Rodriguez. So it will be an overtime green-white checkered. If they do not make it around to the white on this upcoming restart, we'll rack them up. We'll do it again at least 2 more times. If they do get around to the white flag, then we stay with the leaders and race it back to the checkered flag. Even if the caution comes out on the final lap, these drivers will still race back to the start-finish line, which we mentioned it, it's the longest race of the season, 3 miles in length. Lots of length, lots of space, lots of opportunity to be able to make something happen. So who you got your money on? Dylan Poteet looking for his 2nd straight victory this season. Points leader coming into this race. Mike Tellier, I think he has, if not, been close to leading the most laps here today. He'll be 2nd. Blake Trawick in 3rd. Matt Muir up there in 4th. And Andrew Siegel is back up in the top 5 in 5th. Matt Dyer is 6th. 7th will be Ty Smith. Cody Boussard 8th, Tom Bourne 9th, and Shane Tyrion is going to complete the top 10. Sam Dyer, who got back on the lead lap with the Lucky Dog under the last caution, he's up to 11th place. Ryan Potter's going to be 12th. Then Billman, Holden, Rodriguez, that's going to be the top 15. No Lucky Dog here under this caution. The 15 drivers running were all on the lead lap. The 2 drivers a lap down, DJ Stagner and Wolf Stanwell, are still on pit road. So I don't believe that either one of them would get credited for the Lucky Dog. It wouldn't really make much of a difference anyway in terms of the finishing results. Interesting call. Poteet, Tellier, and Trawick, the top 3, all decided to choose Cone to the bottom. So Matt Muir, who was 4th here under Pacey, says thank you very much. Picks up 2 spots as he'll be restarting 2nd. Matt Dyer going to join him up there on the top side, so he'll be 4th. And Tom Bourne also jumped up to the outside line, so he'll restart in 6th alongside of Blake Trawick in row number 3. Extended stays on pit road for Billman, Holden, and Rodriguez, the 3 we saw involved in that wreck. All had already used their fast repairs, so they had to get manual repairs done. They all did manage to get back out off pit road, still on the lead lap. We'll see if they're up to speed enough to challenge inside the top 10, maybe the top 5, maybe even still could be in the conversation for this checkered flag. Here we go. Pace car makes the left-hand turn to pit road. It's our first of potentially 3 overtime green-white checkers here. As Poteet through the restart zone, green flag in the air. 2 laps to go here in overtime. Big move by Mike Tellier. Poteet throws the block. Cordial for the moment through 1 and 2. Tellier, does he maybe go down below the yellow line? It's legal. Who's going to try it? They wait maybe until the last lap. Ooh, a lot of movement right there. Tom Bourne, Shane Tyrion jump up to the top. Top 3 still stay committed to the bottom. Dylan Poteet going to do a lot of mirror driving here. It's a lot tougher to block at iRacing Superspeedway than it is at Atlanta, and he left the door open on the inside. But Blake Trawick's still there to help push him in the middle groove. We're racing back to the checkered flag no matter what happens. Tellier with a big push from Siegel. Tom Bourne up top side with Shane Tyrion. They're going to pick up Ty Smith. Matt Muir's got to run. Which line does he go with? He's going to go up the middle. Poteet should have the advantage here down the back straightaway. And now he'll jump down to the bottom with Trawick. Look at Matt Muir up the middle. Big push from Ty Smith. Can he make something happen? He's side by side for third. Tellier doing everything he can to break up the 56 and 31. He does. Trawick's into the wall. Poteet's left out to dry. Can he keep him on his rearview mirror? Yes, he can. Dylan Poteet's going to get his second win on the season. He takes the Matt Muir Designs 165 at iRacing Superspeedway. Back-to-back victories, career wins 1 and 2 in the last 3 weeks. He got it done in Atlanta. 2 weeks later, he gets it done here at iRacing Superspeedway. And the points leader will continue to extend that points gap heading into Daytona next week. What a battle there on the final lap. Poteet having to block 3 different lanes of momentum, figure out where the runs were coming from. And I thought when the 56 got shuffled out of line there off of turn 4, thought maybe, just maybe, Poteet was going to be a sitting duck. Maybe the 56 getting out of shape checked everybody else up and they didn't have enough momentum on the straightaway, but on National Donut Day, it's time for that number 31 Target Supra to do some donuts here at iRacing Superspeedway. Reverse Polish victory lap here today. He did it at 1.5 miles at Atlanta. Is he doing it at a 3-mile iRacing Superspeedway? Let's wait and see here. A little bit more burning out here on the front straightaway for the fans. Issue results in just a few moments. Point standings will more than likely be updated before the conclusion of this race also. Wonder if they'd let Poteet pull a Joseph Newgarden or a Ryan Blaney and go up into the stands there with the fans. Looks like Poteet may be doing the traditional Polish victory lap here. So we'll take a look at the finishing results. Maybe by the time we end up coming back, we'll see him doing the reverse Polish victory lap that we saw him doing a couple of weeks ago at iRacing or at Atlanta Motor Speedway. As Ty Smith, 99 1/1000ths of a second, almost picked up that victory. He's going to get credit for second. Great comeback run for him. Mike Tellier, maybe the strongest car of the day. He's going to get third. Andrew Siegel, great debut for him in fourth. And Matt Dyer is going to complete the top 5. Shane Tyrion in 6th. Matt Muir 7th. Ryan Potter was 8th. Blake Trawick dropped all the way back to 9th after he was 2nd coming off of turn 4. And Connor Holden is going to complete the top 10. Tom Bourne, I think he got involved in that incident with Blake Trawick off of turn 4. He'll finish 11th. Certainly not indicative of how strong a car he had. Sean Billman in 12th. Sam Dyer, think that car was off the pace, but he was 3 laps down at one point, finishes on the lead lap in 13th, so great run for him. Matthew Rodriguez in 14th. Cody Boussard finished a lap down in 15th. And the rest of these drivers either finished on pit road or off the racetrack in the garage area. DJ Stagner, Wolf Stanwell, John Poole III, Roberto Ramirez, Cody Lamas, and Bronson Stafford is going to get credited for 21st. I don't know if that's correct. It's interesting. Our live scoring shows Bronson Stafford 20th, Cody Lamas 21st, and here it shows Cody 20th and Bronson Stafford 21st. So I don't know which is correct, but neither one of them are going to get good points. That much we know. And as we come back, there it is. The reverse Polish victory lap. Dylan Poteet doing it here at iRacing Superspeedway. A lot more room to be able to work with here. See, we should have run these cars backwards. You see how steady that thing was going into the corner? Going backwards? It didn't bottom out. Didn't look loose. We should have run these cars backwards here today. Run the iRacing Superspeedway in mirror mode. Maybe we're coming back here later on this season. Maybe we should run that race where they're going backwards. Although, hang on, I think that might actually be the season finale. Yeah, it is. So maybe not with a championship on the line. Looks like Poteet is going to make it all the way back around to the start-finish line to complete the celebration here. Let's see if we can talk with some of our podium finishers here tonight. See if we can dial up the driver of the number 47, Mike Tellier. Looks like maybe we do not have Mike available, unfortunately. So let's see if we can get the second place finisher here tonight. That would be Ty Smith, and yes, we do have Ty Smith available. Hey Ty, Seth up here in the FRM booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, man, I tell you what, got really close there coming off of turn 4. 31 lost his drafting partner, a lot of different runs from a lot of different lanes. Was there a factor that you needed to be able to get him at the line? Was it maybe just more momentum? Did you need a drafting partner? What was it?
Yeah, probably needed more drafting help. I mean, I didn't really have much help behind me. I think they wrecked her. And I don't know. I gave it all she had. It sucks finishing second to Dylan. I love the guy, but man, it sucks finishing second.
Now, we've seen a lot of drivers here today. We saw it start in practice, and it carried over into the race. A lot of drivers not only struggling with the competition, but struggling with the racetrack. You were a number of the drivers that just it seemed like when you went into the corner, the back end bottomed out, things snapped loose, and you just couldn't hang on to it. Describe for the people that were watching this race at home what you were feeling going into that corner, what you drivers were having to deal with what we saw visibly.
Yeah, you just go in the corner and the back end snaps around. I mean, I had probably about a minute and a half of optional that I did fix, but the car still wasn't fast. That's why I was kind of riding around the back until the end, and I got my fast repair. But yeah, it's just you go in the corner and you just lose control. You have no control. Back end just snaps around, and you're just along for the ride. Luckily, I didn't hit anything or have anybody hit me. So, but.
A great run for you here tonight with this second place. Obviously going to move you up in the point standings. We're coming back here to iRacing Superspeedway. This is the track where the championship is going to be decided. So what kind of notes were you able to take away from tonight if you're in the hunt for that championship by the time we come back around here for a second time?
Honestly, I don't know. Just maybe try to avoid the wrecks, try to play it safe. That's kind of my motto. I kind of try to play it safe. Unless I'm at the front, like leading, I really try to stay in the back until the end of the race, and that's probably what I'll do. And I'll just continue to do that, just ride around the back, and then at the end, just go for it. But that's my motto.
Certainly worked out for you here tonight with that strategy, and I'll be interested to see if you'll be able to put that in play when we come back here to iRacing Superspeedway a little bit later on this year. But great run for you here tonight. Going to be some really good points headed your way as well. Certainly going to jump you up, maybe even into the top 5 in points heading into Daytona next week. So congratulations on tonight. Best of luck next week. Before we let you go, though, the floor is yours for thank you, sponsors, and shout outs.
Oh yeah, I just want to thank Swamp Motorsports, DJ Stagner, Connor Holden, Ryan Potter, all the boys. We always enjoy this plate racing, and we love the league. And thanks to Matt and all of his group and everything they do, and thanks to you guys for broadcasting. And yeah, enjoy it every Friday. I enjoy it.
That's Ty Smith. He brings home second place here tonight at iRacing Superspeedway. Once again, congrats on the great run. Best of luck next week when we go under the lights at Daytona.
Yep, thank you.
And we're going to, in just a moment, go down to Victory Lane to talk with our race winner, Dylan Poteet. Believe we have him now on standby. So let's see if we can dial up the now two-time winner here in the 2023 season. Hey Dylan, Seth up here in the FRM booth. You got me?
Hi, how am I here again?
Well, I'll tell you, making some history here. We got to go all the way back to September to October of 2021 before we find the last driver that went back to back here in the Baadteshop Superspeedway series. But here tonight, it seemed like maybe even more difficult for you to be able to keep them all at bay because you only had to maybe block about 2 or 3 lanes maximum last time out in Atlanta Superspeedway. Tonight, you had to block about upwards of 4 or 5 different possible lanes.
Yeah, we were talking about under the pace, or right before we went back green, me and Blake were, and we were saying, yeah, leading is not where you want to be on the last lap coming off 3 and 4, and I was in that position. I really didn't know how I got there, but we just were nose to tail, and we were just kind of trying to control and get in the line that was the fastest, and we were really worried about the Sky Motorsports cars because there was a few of them still in it, and they were all getting together, and then I know Swamp Motorsports had a couple of cars sneak up there too with Ty, and I don't know. I knew Blake was going to make a move on me, and I'm not sure what happened there. I think he went the outside, and then he and Mike clipped or something, and I don't know if it was bumper grab or I don't know what exactly happened, but I think whatever happened there gave me a big enough gap. And then I was worried that I was too far ahead, so I started swerving to try to break the draft for Mike and Ty and stuff, and I mean, I'd be the first one to tell you, I don't know how I'm here still. This one definitely was wild, to say the least. It was an eventful race for sure.
We got to see the reverse Polish victory lap again.
I did that for you.
There you go. We were wondering if it was going to happen. Also,
that was a fast one. And
also
a big one.
mentioned the fact you were able to do some donuts on National Donut Day. So yeah,
oh,
how
I
about
did not know that. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I
Now,
totally knew it was today. Yeah.
yes, of course. Now, one
Yeah.
thing that I do have to ask you, because we actually just spoke with Ty Smith as well, both of you with good runs here tonight, but not without a little bit of adversity. Going into the corner, a lot of drivers, including yourself tonight, really struggled with getting that back end planted. That thing bottomed out. We saw it happening in practice. It translated over here to the race. What kind of adjustments were you able to make as a driver to make sure that didn't happen? Or was it a case of just hope and pray that the back end stays planted every time you guys went into 1 and 3?
Oh, I'll tell you, even on the last lap, I was still thinking it was going to spin out. I mean, I did it like 5 laps into the race or whatever it was, and I was just trying to get back in line when I did that. And I don't know if it's because I slowed down or I transitioned behind, and it just spun. Like I did it in practice, and I was like, watch me do it in the race, and I guess I jinxed myself. And I don't know how I didn't get destroyed in that wreck. I got some damage, and I apologize to like Roberto and Cody and Billman and them for getting involved in that. It's the last thing I want to do is cause a wreck like that, and wreck especially a lot of my friends that I usually race with quite a bit. And then I kind of rode around for a while. Was going to just kind of see if I could be okay, and then I got rear-ended in another wreck, and that killed my car. I didn't even have a back bumper. And then I rode around some more, and they got to the point we had a few more big wrecks. I didn't think we were going to have as many yellows, and I kind of got worried about 30 to go. I was going to take my fast repair and hang on from that point, and here we are. I don't know. But it was definitely sketchy for sure. Like I said, 1 and 3, like I'm pretty sure I checked up quite a bit, a lot of those laps, and definitely didn't on the last couple laps. I kept my foot in it because it was win or go home at that point. So I'm just glad it didn't spin around again and somehow made it back to victory lane.
Well, this unorthodox point system that they have here for the Baadteshop Superspeedway Series definitely rewards the race winners. And you've got a 2 in the win column now. You had 24 points over second place. Coming into tonight, you now leave with 81 points in the bank over Ryan Potter. Now, obviously, we got a lot more racing to go. We're just now entering towards the end of the first half of the regular season. We got Daytona for the first time under the lights next week. We can have the Dega Duels to set us up for the second half of the regular season. But let's look ahead, because this particular racetrack we're coming back to, and the championship is hanging in the balance. So what kind of notes were you able to take from tonight that if you're in that championship conversation when we come back here, that you're able to then apply?
Oh, I didn't even realize. I forgot this was the finale race. Oh boy. Well, I'm not going to do what I did at the beginning of this race and try to go at the front like a maniac to lead a lap. I think it's just going to be a survival game, honestly. I mean, we saw this. This was probably the most hectic race we've had this season by far, and these wrecks were not small, to say the least. There was a bunch of big wrecks. A bunch of good cars got taken out of the race, especially early as well, and I think it's just a matter of just surviving this thing. This is a tough track. It's fast. It's wide. A lot of opportunities to do passing and draft, but there's also a lot of opportunities, like we saw tonight, to have a lot of people wreck or self-spin like I did. So a lot can happen in such a short amount of time, and I hope I get lucky again twice here, and hopefully I'm still in a good position to try to battle for the championship, but I'll be the first one to say, job's not finished. I guess start thinking about this now, because honestly, I was just wanting to win this season, but I guess now I can be looking at trying to win a championship here. And but like so one of my idols said, even though you're up, Kobe Bryant said it once, job's not finished. So we're going to keep going and see if we can keep the consistent train going, and hopefully be around here battling for the championship when we come back here for the finale.
It's going to be interesting when we come back here in late June, with this being the precursor of maybe what to expect, what the anticipation is going to be for the drivers, the anticipation for the fans with what they saw here tonight, knowing that there's a championship on the line. Going to be a lot of unanswered questions, I think, leaving here in preparation for when we make our return. But congratulations, Dylan. A wild couple of weeks here. Getting that first win at Atlanta, you follow it up with the victory here at iRacing Superspeedway. Taking that points lead into Daytona. Looking forward to seeing if you can keep this consistency going. We know super speedways, they're always unpredictable, but we'll let you get back to the celebrating. Before we do, though, handing the mic over to you for some victory lane. Thank you, sponsors and shoutouts.
Well, thanks again, having Target on the car, and Dylan Body, everybody, Body Shop, and Team Trap House tonight for bringing the car again. We get another dub with this Toyota Supra. Thanks to Blake again for being an amazing teammate there. I feel like I owe him 1 or 2 wins now. I'm hoping we can get that arranged and try to get that going again. And thanks to the other guys I work with, everybody at Swamp Motorsports. We had John Poole come in here, Cody Lamas. We had Wolf come in. He worked with us. I want to give a shout out to Ryan Potter for being my drafting buddy when we were down 3 cylinders for a while. That was thanks to him. Billman also helped us there, so appreciate that. And that's about it. We just go on to the next one and see if we can do it again. And thanks to you guys also for doing the broadcast, and everybody at UpperEdge, like always, putting this show back on. And glad we're back doing this, and glad to get to do an interview with you again. Hopefully get to do it again.
Absolutely. Well, as one of our RTG Super Speedway drivers, Joe DeSpirito, says, rinse and repeat. We'll see if Dylan Poteet can do that when we head to Daytona next week. He is a multi-time winner here in the 2023 season for the Baadteshop Super Speedway Series. Congratulations on the victory here tonight, Dylan. Go enjoy that victory, and yeah, we'll see what you're able to do when we head to the World Center of Racing next week.
Yeah, let's have a party!
And that is going to conclude our coverage here tonight from iRacing Superspeedway. And yeah, when was talking with Ty Smith, didn't even think about the fact that this is where we're going to be coming back to on June the 30th, and the championship will be on the line. With what we saw here tonight, the ups, the downs, the struggles that these drivers had to deal with, things are going to be very, very interesting when we come back here for the season finale. But we still got a lot of racing still to go. Next Friday night, we are under the lights at Daytona International Speedway. Then we go back to Dega. We return once again to Atlanta. We go to Daytona once again. And then we finish things off at iRacing Superspeedway. Lot of Superspeedway action. some drivers could find consistency and get up there and battle with Dylan Poteet for that points lead. A number of drivers looking for their first win on the season. Some of them looking still for that first win of their career. What will Daytona have in store for us? We're going to have to wait and find out. That's going to be next Friday night, with the green flag scheduled to fly at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Once again, thank you to everybody for tuning in tonight to our coverage of the UpperEdge Racing Baadteshop Superspeedway Series. I've been Seth Cole, and you've been watching another broadcast courtesy of FRN, the Flatout Racing Network.
This broadcast is the copyrighted work of Flatout Racing Network and may not be rebroadcast, retranslated, or used in any form without the express written consent of Flatout Racing Network and iRacing.com Motorsports Simulations. Flatout Racing Network would like to thank you for your support, and we hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast.